Hey everybody, my name is Deja and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm starting a weekend reading vlog. So this reading vlog is for the mini tarot readathon that I'm hosting with Noelle from Noelle 7 Pages. We did a full tarot readathon that was a month long back in June, I believe it was. And so in November we decided to do a mini weekend version that goes from Friday the 10th till Sunday the 12th. I'm extending this vlog a little bit into Monday just because I'm actually going on a trip from Saturday afternoon till Tuesday morning to Charlotte, North Carolina, where I've never been. I live in North Carolina, but I've never been to Charlotte, crazily enough. Well, okay, I've been there for a concert, but I literally went, got ready for the concert, went to the concert, and then went to sleep and then left the next morning. So I didn't really explore anything like that, so I'm really excited to be able to explore, and I'm just really happy to be doing this readathon. We do have like an extra little placement challenge that you could be doing for the readathon, but I'm not doing that. If you don't know what the readathon basically is, you basically pull cards and each card correlates to a different reading prompt, and you find books to fulfill each prompt. And so I have actually pulled my cards. I'm filming this later after I've finished the vlog, so we're gonna pop back to Deja when she did the actual pulls.
Always been a favorite guy, loving when she hit my line. Love her pencils come from 9 and we get high like summertime. I ain't never gotta ask, we both know it's mine. Met her in the club, dancing, grinding and sipping wine. Rolled up when I rolled up, now her eyes are sanguine paradise. She can ride it if she want it, have a special moment, then I'm gone. Like an athlete, sit in the backseat, cruising through the city in the Smyrna like a taxi. She sent a pen and she had me.
So I did my first 2 pulls for the readathon, and I pulled 2 cards. I don't know if I'm going to be pulling any more. I first pulled Ace of Wands, and we have an extra little challenge that is basically like a spread placement card thing, which I talk about in the announcement, that I'm not doing just because I am a little bit busier this weekend. So I wanted to be able to pick books that I knew that I could finish quickly or that I thought I could. So I first pulled Ace of Wands, and this card is to read a book by a new to you author or debut author. And for that I'm going with The Not So Perfect Strangers by Ella Stratton. This is a thriller. I believe this is about a black lady leaving her abusive husband, and while she's leaving, a white woman pounds on her car window begging her to be let in, and she is also leaving another situation. They have different realities because they're black and white women. They're very different, but what they have in common is marriages that they need out of, so they are trying to help each other. So I believe this has a lot of commentary on like black versus white, and then also abusive relationships. Haley loves this one, so I wanted to pick it up, and I don't know why, but I always thought this was snowy just because of these, but it's not. So the second card that I pulled was the Empress, and this is to pick a book that celebrates nature or has nature on the cover. And originally for that one I was going to go with By the Book by Jasmine Guillory, which is something that I do want to read, but I'm actually in the middle of a graphic novel called Garlic and the Vampire. I read the second one first on accident. I read Garlic and the Witch first when Garlic and the Vampire is the first one. So I want to read this one, and it is literally Garlic the character in the middle of a forest. So I would call that very much celebrating nature. So honestly I might pull a third card because that graphic novel I'm definitely going to finish today, and my audiobook I'm hoping to get a good portion of the way through. So I will see how far I get into both of them tonight, and before my trip tomorrow I'm leaving at around 2:30. So if I have barely anything left of this book, I will definitely pull another card. So right now I'm going to be doing some work for my graphic design job, which is why I wanted to talk about my pulls, because I'm going to start the audiobook for Not So Perfect Strangers, which is on Scribd. So I'm going to start the audiobook for this one. It's not too long. It's around 10 hours. I'm really excited for this one. So yeah, I've been in the mood for a thriller, so I'm really excited. I'm hoping that it's going to be phenomenal. So I'm going to do some work for my remote job, and then I need to run to Michael's because my friend, she'll be out by now, but she is having a probate. So if you guys don't know, there is Black letter Greek organizations. So they are basically Black Greek organizations, and they have their own separate culture, their own whole separate thing. So they have these things called probates, which is where they like come out. And so when you're online, that's what it's called when you are joining a Black Greek letter organization, it's very much like a secret, and that's like the process that you're going through to like learn about the organization, to get initiated, all of that stuff. And so that's like after you've basically been accepted. And so you're online, and that's supposed to be a secret. And then afterwards, you have a probate where you reveal yourself, and people find out that you are officially part of the organization now. And so she's having her probate on Tuesday, which is the day I'm coming back from my trip. So I will not have time to make her a sign before then. So I need to run to Michael's and make her sign tonight, which I plan on doing during reading sprints. So I planned out the poster and everything like that. So I have an idea of what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm going to do that during reading sprints while I'm listening to this audiobook as well. And yeah, so I'm going to start on this work, and I will come back and talk to y'all when I made it a little bit through this book.
I'm at a crib, sweating like a track me, party like an athlete, sit in the backseat, cruising through the city in the sprinter like a taxi. She sent a pen and she at me. I'm at a crib, sweating like a track me. Rhyming up my duties, rhyming music coming fire. Help me stay fuck 9 to 5s, now I fuck 9s and I 5. Sure to keep it interesting, closet be on Comic-Con. Even when trying to be quiet, still out like a fire alarm. Says I got that je ne sais quoi, call it the South. That's why comments now the challenge when Flanders and lost the miles. While I party like an athlete, sit in the backseat, cruising through the city in the sprinter like a taxi. She sent a pen and she at me. I'm at a crib, sweating like a track meet.
Sorry if you hear some music outside, some band is practicing, but I wanted to update y'all because I am now like almost 50% of the way done with Not So Perfect Strangers. I'm on page 149 of like 309 pages, so basically halfway done, and I am loving this book so far. So our main character is Tasha and Madison. We have two, and so Tasha, she is a Black woman and she is escaping from an abusive husband, and she escapes with her like just turned 18-year-old child who she really cares about, her son. And so they just escape, but her son actually leaves and goes back to be with his father because he misses his father, and then also he misses like his girlfriend and stuff like that. So he ends up going back, and so because of that, she also ends up going back after him because she doesn't want him to be alone with with his father because she can't protect him. So while she's driving back, this white lady comes like banging on her window trying to escape from also like her abusive husband after an event where he was basically cheating on her in front of her face. So she is escaping and banging on the window of her car to be let in, and that's how they meet. We're mostly following Tasha and Madison's lives parallel to each other, like they don't really intersect, but they do meet up eventually again and talk about some things that they may want to do to potentially get rid of their husbands. And we also get flashbacks in specifically like Madison's life to when she was like a teenager, and she went through some like religious abuse that was going on and happening to her, and religious abuse and like some grooming and stuff like that was going on within her religious community that was happening directly to her. So that's adding a lot of depth and nuance to her character that I'm enjoying, because we are seeing two very different sides of abuse. We are seeing this woman who has a very controlling husband who will literally can take away her phone, make sure that he's driving her everywhere, basically controlling every single aspect of her life, versus Madison's abuse, which is more like him cheating on her, lying to her, going behind her back, and stuff like that. So we're seeing two very different sides, but then also we are getting some nuance and depth to their characters that's not just their abuse. We're seeing Tasha kind of trying to move on in her life, even though she's stuck in this kind of stagnant place because of her husband. And then we're also seeing Madison and her religious trauma and grooming that happened to her when she was a kid. So I'm really enjoying that, and we just had a huge plot twist at the end of chapter 21. I'm just about to start chapter 22, so I just had the plot twist, and it's huge, and so I'm really interested to see how that's going to impact the plot going forward. It's very well written. I feel like there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of depth and nuance to the story, but it's also very easy to follow. So I'm just really overall enjoying this, and I'm really excited to finish it off. I will definitely be finishing this today probably, because I didn't even expect to listen to that much today. I have an hour and 50 minutes left, so I think that I'll definitely be able to finish it in sprints, because that's basically like just over 2 sprints. So yeah, I should be able to finish this one. And so it is now around 5 p.m. now. I'm actually going to take a break from listening to this. I already made my run to Michael's, and so I am going to work on some homework in the meantime until the live show. And then once the live show starts, I'm going to continue listening to this while I work on my friend's poster board. So I ended up finishing Not So Perfect Strangers already. It is 9 p.m. and I'm currently on sprints, but I finished my first book of the readathon, which I'm gagged that I finished a book already, but I'm really happy that I did. This one I ended up giving 5 stars. I really love this one. I have not had a thriller in a very long time that I loved like this. Like, it had so much social commentary, it had so much character development, it had like kind of like manipulation, it had abuse, it had so much in it. Like, it had a lot of depth and nuance to it, but it was also very fast paced, like domestic thriller-y, and like that's perfect. Like, I love a domestic thriller, but 9 out of 10 times they're not gonna be favorites of all time. I do have some exceptions like Verity or The Perfect Marriage, but this had so much depth and nuance and layers to it that like I just loved and I ate it up. It was so good, okay? Like, I just really loved her. So now I'm going to read Garlic and the Vampire, but I want to pull another card because I really need another audiobook. So let's do that. Let me go get my cards. Okay, I'm going to pull this card. It is the Queen of Wands. So let's go look at what the Queen of Wands is. So this is read a book with a strong female protagonist in it. And I think I can fit the book that I want to read into this prompt. So the book I really want to read is Dark Corners by Megan Golden. This is the companion sequel to The Night Swim, and this says the Rachel Crawl, the true crime podcast star of The Night Swim, returns to search for a popular influencer who disappears after visiting a suspected serial killer. And honestly, I read the first book, so I would say that Rachel is a strong female protagonist, so I'm gonna go with this one. This is gonna be the next audiobook that I pick up, and I'm super excited to get into this one. So I ended up finishing Garlic and the Vampire, and I'm giving it 5 stars. I love this series so much. I don't know if there's another one that's going to be coming out, but I really love the series. And if you're looking for like a really wholesome middle grade graphic novel that kind of just has like naturey, almost fall, but like more like gardeny type vibes, I highly recommend it. It just follows this bulb named Garlic, and she's like a garlic person, and she was created by a witch with other veggie and fruit people, and they help her in her garden. And the first one follows them as they are discovering that there is potentially a vampire who has moved into the general area and how they are dealing with that. It is so good and I highly recommend. But I actually want to see if I can pull a card because I really want to read another graphic novel or a manga. So I want to see if I can get a card for that. Oh, some cards flew out. So I'm just going to keep shuffling and I'm about to pull a card. So here it is. I got the Fool. And the Fool is kind of a repeat prompt because I got the Ace of Wands, which is read a book by a new to you author or in a genre that you haven't explored before. And this one is read a book by a new to you author. And I actually have a manhwa that I've been wanting to read that is by an author I've never read before. And that is Killing Stalking. Story art by Kugi, I think is how you say it. And I've heard this is like extreme horror and I know nothing about it, but I'm really excited. I've heard that it's very extreme and my roommate was like, I would never read this, but I'm really excited to try out a manhwa. I've never read a manhwa before. I'm actually probably going to read mostly this before I go to bed and then start Dark Corners tomorrow.
Took some time to think about what you said. It wasn't right. Intentions we both misread, but pride aside, my actions.
Autism makes sense now.
Huh?
I said, no wonder my doctor diagnosed me with autism. It makes sense now. Oh, I didn't tell you about that?
I'm literally recording. I'm leaving that in. I'm leaving it in. I'm sorry, but that is iconic. That's an iconic line. She's being left in. Wow. Okay.
Stop jumping right
Stop perceiving me. Stop perceiving me. Do something else. Okay. Hi, friends. I'm back. I'm in Charlotte now, which I haven't filmed the intro to this vlog yet, but y'all probably have heard I'm here for my 21st birthday. But before I got in the car to come here, I started Dark Corners by Megan Golden. I don't think I'm gonna finish this by the end of the reading vlog because she's making slow progress, but I'm enjoying her. In this we follow Rachel, who is this is like a sequel to the first one, but we're just following Rachel doing another podcast about this influencer who went missing after visiting a suspected serial killer in prison. He's in prison for other things, but they think that he was a serial killer, and she went missing, and there's kind of like some blood and stuff, so it's looking suspicious, and she's like working with the FBI and stuff to like get her help, and they want her to go undercover at BuzzCon, which is a popular influencer conference. And I haven't gotten to her going to BuzzCon yet, but she discovers a world of fierce rivalry that may have turned lethal. That's what it says in here. So these influencers are cutthroat. They're about to start killing each other. So I'm excited to see that, but I'm only like 72 pages in, but I'm enjoying it so far. I really enjoy Megan Golden's writing. And then I started Killing Stalking, which my friend who I'm here on this trip with really loves this series. So yeah, I've heard a lot of good things. Him, and then Katie Coulson, Rose, all of them love this series. I'm about halfway done. I'm on page 227, chapter 6. I haven't started chapter 6 yet, so I've read the first 5 chapters, and I'm loving her. She's so good and delusional. We follow this guy, Yoonbum, and he's like a scrawny, quiet man, and he's had a crush on this really popular, handsome guy in his college. He's been having a crush on him since in the past at school. They were in the army together, so he's kind of seen him around. He's basically fallen in love with him and breaks into his house, and when he breaks into his house, he finds something that he did not expect to find, and because of that, the guy that he's obsessed with comes back, Sang-woo, and discovers him, and then basically he's like, you know what, I'm gonna kidnap you, basically, and that's what's gonna happen. And he's like, okay, and he kind of just accepts it, and he kind of likes it, and like Sang-woo is very like abusive and like tortures him, but like he low-key kind of likes it, and like Sang-woo also does loving things, and they're almost like a couple, but like a torturing, kidnapping couple. And it's like, it's really good. I would not recommend it if you don't like extreme horror, can't handle like extreme content, because like I feel like there are some girlies out there that like can't handle any type of problematic relationship at all, because they just like can't, and this is like the most problematic that you can get. And I heard the series just gets worse and worse. So yeah, he's enthusiastically nodding. So yeah, but I'm really loving her, and I will definitely be finishing this up on the trip. But I don't know about Miss Dark Corners, but we'll try.
And every time I see you, gotta hold myself down. I'm not used to the feeling, but it's pulling me now. Been losing my mind since the merry-go-round. I lose trying to lie when I feel like I'm found. And now I want you. I'm out of control, my heart's feeling, got eyes on you. Now feel the way you make me feel it. Try like I'm healing, stars on the ceiling. Not much that I
I'm back from going out for a little bit, and I thought I would show y'all. We made these little air planter terrariums, and this is mine. I love it. I was kind of going for like a rainforest, foresty vibe. It has a lot of wood, a lot of green, brown, white, black. And then I also got my first Bagsy bag. Haley loves these bags. They're just like these washable bags, and they're huge, and they fold up into a smaller little pouch, and they're huge. But I also went to this little bookstore that is at, there's this place called Camp North End that's really cool. It has a whole bunch of things to do there. And they had this little place called Hiji, which is a podcast and wellness co-working space. But in the back of it, they have a little shop. And in the shop, they have a used bookstore called That's Novel Books. And it's a used bookstore. It's very small inside of a different store. But they have a blind date with a book, and this one says horror, humor, fantasy. 3 characters tell a fantastical story of shape-shifting creatures, the real story revealed through cracks in the tale. And it has a 4.2 on Goodreads, so I thought we would open it together. So let me get the string off. She's off, and let's unwrap it. I'm gonna let y'all see it first. Okay, here's it is. What the Hell Did I Just Read by Jason Paragon. I feel like I've seen this cover before. Wow. I'm really excited to see what this is about. And that's what I got today. That's what we did. We still have a little bit more that we're doing that y'all will see in the B-roll. But I'm having such a good time, and I love it here.
Several things I feel, spent so much time wondering what was real. You drew a line, take it all, deal, no deal, nah. But every time I tell you that I'm coming to town, we link up every time, no, I'm not leaving without your views in my mind, gotta figure it out, no use trying to lie, actions screaming out loud, but it's not like that, please don't fight back, thought we caused some scenes, can we get that time back? All my old shit that I put on you. I want you. I'm out of control. My heart's feeling eyes on you. I'm feeling the way you make me feel. Drop like I'm healing. Stars on the ceiling. Not much that I wouldn't do.
Hello again. I'm now wrapping up this reading vlog. So I actually had a really successful readathon. The first book that I finished was Not So Perfect Strangers, which I ended up giving 5 stars. And then I ended up reading Garlic and the Vampire, which I gave 5 stars, which is a graphic novel. Then I read Killing Stalking, which I'm also giving 5 stars. And I got about a third of the way into Dark Corners by Megan Golden. So I had a really good readathon. I hope that you guys had a fun time if you participated as well. If you made it to the end, leave a car emoji because it goes with this cover. And I will see y'all in my next one. Okay, bye everybody.
You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me.